What is going on, guys? It is Console Chan coming back at you with another Madden 17 video. Today, we are going to be making an all Ohio State Buckeye team. So that's what I did. I put all the Ohio State guys on a team, and this is what I came up with. So let's go through the roster by each position. It's actually a pretty good team. Kind of surprised. Except the quarterback position, not that good. Cardale Jones, I think he plays for Buffalo, so I picked him up. Other than that, couldn't find another one. So Braxton Miller, I moved him from wide receiver to quarterback. He played quarterback at Ohio State for, I think, 2 years maybe. So they had a lot of receivers for me to choose from, so I moved Braxton Miller to quarterback. Running back, Ezekiel Elliott, leading the league in rushing this year. Carlos Hyde and Danielle Herron. So good 1-2 punch there with Elliott and Hyde for sure. Fullback, Rod Smith. I think he might have played for the Cowboys or was on their practice roster. Wide receivers, Ted Ginn Jr., Philly Brown, Michael Thomas, Brian Hartline, Devin Smith, and Jalen Marshall. You're probably thinking where Terrell Pryor is. Well, I needed a tight end, so Terrell Pryor actually fits nicely. He's got the big frame, 6'4", 233, to play tight end for me. So he's an 84 overall tight end, which is pretty good. Also have Jeff Herman and Nick Vanette from the Seahawks. So pretty decent there. O-line's actually really good. Jack Mewhort, he's a left guard, but moved him to left tackle. That's what I usually do. Mike Adams, left guard. Andrew Norwell from the Panthers. Michael Brewster, he was in free agency. Center, Nick Mangold from the Jets. Corey Linsley from the Packers. Right guard, we have Alex Boone. Used to play for the Niners. I'm not sure where I got him from. Taylor Decker from the Lions. Reed Fragel, free agency. Cameron Hayward, and Adolphus Washington. I butchered that guy's name. I apologize. Joey Bosa from the Chargers. Defensive tackle, Jonathan Hankins from the Giants. Michael Bennett from the Jags. And Doug Worthington from free agency, I believe. John Simon from the Texans, Joshua Perry from the Chargers. Middle linebackers, we got my guy Ryan Shazier, the speedster. James Lornez from the Saints. Right outside linebacker, Deron Lee from the Jets. AJ Hawk from free agency. Cornerbacks, Bradley Roby from the Broncos. Eli Apple, Giants. Chiqua, I'm not sure. Travis Howard, Donald Washington. And this Powell guy's a safety, but I moved him to corner because I needed him. And the sixth guy, Kurt Coleman. From the Panthers, I believe. Von Bell from the Saints. I'll probably be starting Bell just because he's a rookie. Strong safety, we have Malcolm Jenkins and Dante Hittner. Mike Nugent from the Bengals is my kicker. And couldn't find a Ohio State punter. I was even looking at another kicker that I could just move to a punter, but there was only Nugent in that kicking department. So I'm just going to keep Britton Colquitt, and we'll work with him until we could find an Ohio State punter. So this is what the team's looking like heading into year number 1. I'm probably just going to do 3 years with this team. This is my second college team. I think I did Wisconsin first. It didn't turn out that well, but I think this team's got a lot more talent on it for sure. So I'm going to be simming to the playoffs, and we will see you guys there. So at the end of year number 1, looks like we missed the playoffs. Our record is 3-13, so not too good. So we'll take a look at some stats, maybe even some awards. Cardale Jones, 3,429 yards, 19 touchdowns, 22 interceptions. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott, 1,125 yards and 9 touchdowns. Receiving, Terrell Pryor at my tight end position, 70 catches, 767 and 5 touchdowns. Receiver was Michael Thomas, 65 receptions for 946 and 3 touchdowns. Defense, Ryan Shazier, 163 tackles. Led the team. Tackles for loss was Cameron Hayward with 11. And quarterback sacks was the rookie Joey Bosa with 14. Interceptions was Shazier with 3 and Malcolm Jenkins with also 3. So let's take a look at some yearly awards. I'm not sure. I probably am not even in the MVP talks, but let's look at defensive player. Probably not. Rookie Ezekiel Elliott won that. Cardale Jones is actually number 2. Kind of would have liked Jones to win that just so he could get the XP because I want my quarterback to get better. Michael Thomas was number 8. Defense rookie was actually Deron Lee. Joey Bosa was there. E.L. Apple was number 4. So my rookies did pretty decent in year with number 1. So I'm going to spend player XP, and then we'll jump into the offseason. I did some scouting at midseason mark. I think I only scouted like 4 guys out of Ohio State, and the first one's not projected to like the 5th round. So we're really not going to be adding really any good talent in the draft. So I'm probably just going to skip right through the draft, and we'll pick it up in year number 2. So after doing the offseason and doing some player XP, this is what the team's looking like heading into year number 2. I drafted, I think, 2 players, and I think I picked up 2 more in free agency that I saw that were undrafted rookies. So this is one of my draft picks, Wheaton. I think he was projected like 5th round. Pretty decent attributes, 72 overall. So he's got room for improvement. Found a running back that was undrafted. 68 overall, and then defense got a right outside linebacker in like the 7th round, and then defensive end. He was defensive tackle, but I needed him at defensive end, so I just moved him over. And then other than that, I couldn't find a punter again, but this guy, he was undrafted. He went to Ohio, so I said, you know, what the hell, I just moved him to Ohio State. It's kind of difficult to find a kicker and a punter that went to the same college just because there's only like a handful of them in the league. And if there's not one, then there's that slight chance there might be one in the draft. But I just added that guy, so he went to Ohio State. So the team's basically, all the starters are going to be staying the same heading into year number 2. Some of the players that went up in overall, Ezekiel Elliott, 90 overall. I think he's got 99 ball carry vision and 99 carrying just after 1 year. So he's a very good player. Terrell Pryor went up, I think. He's an 86 overall tight end, so that's pretty good. Mewhort's an 87. Defensive side of the ball, Deron Lee's 84. Shazier 81. Bradley Roby 81. Joey Bosa went up to a 91. That's pretty good. Other than that, I think that's really all the players that went up in overall for the most part. Some other guys did, but not too much. So we're going to start simming ahead here. We're in the preseason, but we're picking up with you guys again in the playoffs. So at the end of year number 2, we didn't make the playoffs again. Let's take a look at our record. 6-10, so we doubled our wins from last year. So we're slowly improving. Hopefully next year we could actually make the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs. So Carl Jones, 3,557 yards, 20 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott, 1,425 yards, 6 touchdowns. Carlos Hyde, 354 and 11 touchdowns. Receiving, Michael Thomas, 66 receptions, 708 and 4 touchdowns. And Terrell Pryor, 64 receptions, 1,008 yards and 6 touchdowns. Defense, Ryan Shazier led the team with 137 tackles. Tackles for loss was Jonathan Hankins with 11, and quarterback sacks with Joey Bosa led the team again with 14.5. Cameron Hayward had 13, and interceptions was 4, and Bradley Roby had 3. So I did some scouting at the midseason mark. I did find a bit better players in this year's draft. I think the best Ohio State player is projected early 3rd round, defensive end. Other than that, not too many players. There is a pretty decent quarterback in the 4th round, so I'm probably going to take him, and if he's somewhat decent, probably going to start him next year. So that's what the plan is for this offseason. So we're going to sim right to the draft, and we will see you guys there. So this Brennan Bean, he's not projected to the 4th round, and this is pick number 5 in the 1st round, but whatever, I'm going to take him. Top 3 skills are pretty decent, so hopefully it leads to believe that he's going to be good. And 72 with quick development. Yeah, he's definitely going to be starting next year. So after another offseason and spending player XP, this is what the team's looking like heading in to the 3rd year with this Ohio State team. Some notable things to point out. Nick Mangold at center retired, so a little... I think Lindsey started last year, and Mangold backed up. So Lindsey's still going to be my starter, obviously. But everything really stays the same. Starting quarterback is different, though. This Bean guy is going to be getting the start. Quick development, rookie, 22-year-old out of Ohio State. So hopefully he gets a very big chunk of XP, wins Rookie of the Year, and stuff like that. Ezekiel Elliott's a 91. He is a monster. Receivers are decent. Terrell Pryor, he's kind of he was an 86, but now he's an 82. He does have slow development in this game, which kind of sucks, but he actually is a pretty good receiver in real life. On defense, no one really went up in overall. Everything is kind of staying the same on that front. So the team is staying the same. I did draft that tight end or defensive end in the second round. He was shit. I think this is him. He's 66 overall, so he's nothing too special in that draft besides that quarterback I'm actually pretty pleased with. So I'm going to start simming ahead here. We'll pick it up in the playoffs again, and we will see you guys there. So at the end of year number 3, we didn't make the playoffs yet again. But our quarterback did have a lot of XP, so I'm probably actually going to be doing one more year because the quarterback position is so important in Madden Sim. And the fact that I finally have one, and with that XP he'll go up, I think we have a chance. We went 8-8, so we're getting better each year. We had 2 more wins than we did last year. So let's take a look how this rookie did at quarterback. 3,418 yards, 22 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. So not a bad rookie campaign. Ezekiel Elliott, 1,538 yards and 14 touchdowns. Receiving, Terrell Pryor, 73 receptions, 742 and 8 touchdowns. Philly Brown led my team in yardage with 949. On the defensive side of the ball, Ryan Shazier led the team with 135 tackles. Tackles for loss with Jonathan Hankins with 8, and quarterback sacks, big year by Joey Bosa, who had 26.5, and interceptions, Ryan Shazier had 3. So now let's take a look at some yearly awards. Aaron Rodgers is your MVP in the AFC. Ezekiel Elliott was 8th in offensive player. Defensive player, Zach Brown actually beat out Joey Bosa. That's a surprise. Offensive rookie was Bean, my quarterback. Best quarterback was Blake Bortles. Bean was didn't make the list. Best running back, Le'Veon Bell. Receiver, Allen Robinson. Best O-line, DeCastro. Best D-line, I'm sure, is Joey Bosa, and he did get that award. So I was going to stop it here, but we did find a quarterback, and I want to see if we could give him just one more chance. So we're going to jump into another year. I did do scouting at midseason, really didn't find anyone again. So we'll just sim the offseason, and we will pick it up with you guys in year number 4. So in this past draft, I drafted a fullback, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a cornerback. Other than that, this is what the team's looking like after offseason and spending XP. Quarterback went from a 72 to an 84, so it should be pretty good. His accuracy went up. I boosted his awareness as well. Ezekiel Elliott's a 93. This is that wide receiver I drafted. I think he's got slow development, though, which kind of sucks. But he's still got very good attributes. O-line is pretty good, I would say. Terrell Pryor is starting to go down at tight end, but he's still very good. Wide receivers are decent. On the defense side of the ball, D-line's pretty good, actually. Joey Bosa's a monster. With this roster update, he doesn't have that superstar div anymore. He's got that quick, but still, he develops very nicely. Deron Lee's playing good. Shazier, I'm not sure if they changed how much XP it costs to upgrade him, because it kind of costs a lot now, but he's still one of my favorite players in the league. Safeties are decent. Corners could get better, but this is what I could work with right now. So that's what the team's looking like heading into year number 4. I just want to do an extra year because now that I have a quarterback, I want to see if we can actually make the playoffs. So I'm going to start simming, and we will pick it up with you guys in the playoffs. At the end of year number 4, didn't make the playoffs again, so this was a complete waste of time. So let's see what our record was. And same record as our first year, 3-13. I believe this could definitely be a playoff team. Maybe I should have picked a different team than Cleveland, because we are playing against some very good teams in our division in Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. But I wanted, I don't know, Cleveland, Ohio. So I just wanted to be like Ohio State, Cleveland. I don't know. So let's take a look at some stats maybe, and then I'm gonna wrap up this video. So the quarterback actually did pretty good, 3,908 yards, 25 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. Rushing, Ezekiel Elliott, 1,653 yards and 11 touchdowns. Receiving, Terrell Pryor, 79 catches, 839 and 9 touchdowns, and Michael Thomas had over 1,000 yards. Defense, Deron Lee led the team with 147 tackles. Quarterback sacks, Joey Bosa only had 10.5 this year. Interceptions, Eli Apple had 1 and Simon had 1. So this is going to do it for this Ohio State video. Hope you guys enjoyed. These are the players that I had to work with. Very good group of guys, I would say. Just really, they didn't really have a quarterback until I drafted. Luckily, I actually was able to draft this guy. But other than that, their corners could have used some work. D-line was pretty decent. Linebackers, I would say, were good. Their safeties were good. So corners and quarterback were an issue. And receivers were average. That definitely could have been better as well. So that's going to do it for this Ohio State video. Probably going to do LSU next, or Alabama. I'm not too sure. Probably LSU. But also, watch my last video. It's I think it's called Subscriber League or something on Madden. I'm starting a Subscriber League on Madden if you guys want to join. I do have Xbox One though, so I know probably a lot of you guys have PS4, but if you have Xbox One, comment in the comment section if you want to play, like leave your gamer tag, or click on that previous video I did 2 days ago or yesterday, I'm not sure. Click on that and comment on that, and we will get a couple guys and start a league together. I think that'll be pretty fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.